Hello everybody and welcome to another RCT2 hacking tutorial. This is number 14 in our series, and we have amassed a pretty nice little park here, starting from humble beginnings with a little 2x2 spinning ride right down here underneath this purple canopy, going to the Ferris wheel, then to the condor ride, then to the wave swinger, our rocking horses ride. We did the one-way train, the diagonal disco, the launched loop from Arrow. We did our carousel over here. We did our single queue dueling coaster here. Go-karts was the most recent one. We have our two-station, two-drop log flume, the swinging ship over here, and our newest addition today, the Haunted Mansion. Now, you might look at this and think, alright, well, what's the big deal? It looks just like a Haunted Mansion. Well, let's get our cutaway view in here and go on down and see what there is to see here. Almost there. There we go. There it is. Okay. So inside our lightly themed space, you can see that these cars are rotating as far as the car in relation to the track goes. So this is a custom ride vehicle. So for all you who are no custom scenery object players, this one is not for you, unfortunately. This one is entirely a custom scenery thing, but we are going to show how to use this kind of ride and the best way to get some of the stuff out of it. So it's a pretty neat little ride. This was made by Rumi, and it was first seen on Head-to-Head 8 in Faria do Flamingo, which was a park that he and I built along with Ultro. I've already done a review of that park in my channel, so feel free to go check that out if you want, and I think that ride turned out pretty well. Rumi made a couple of different rides, and they all sort of operated on the same premise, using the 4D coaster's seat rotation to help dictate this kind of a thing. So let us build a quick one. This is not going to be a very long video because this is a pretty straightforward thing, but it's a neat ride that I haven't seen too many people use, so I wanted to get some more, just some more people aware of this existing. Okay, so when you build your ghost train ride, the first thing you want to do, and we've gone into cheats and enabled all the different things except for invalid track heights, which, like I've said before, I don't use unless I'm actually going to use that feature. But arbitrary ride type changes is what we want. So the ability to change this guy here and change the track type to something else. And what that something else will be is the multi-dimension coaster, the 4D coaster. So that is going to let us do some seat rotation, which you can kind of see here. So what we're going to do is in this first straight piece, we're going to keep head 0, but then we're going to turn the next one to 45, the next one to 90, next one to 135, and then the next one to 180. So that's as far as this goes, is 180. And then we'll go ahead and turn it down, and we'll kind of skip down in 2s, and then we'll go in the other direction to 180. Skip down in 2s, and then we'll also just kind of show a couple of different things here with this. Now, if you need the tight turn, go ahead and change it right back. We're gonna put some brakes here just because Ghost Train is somewhat notorious for having some trouble there. So we're gonna go back to Tunnel of Horror here. We're gonna make that turn, and then we'll go straight back to multi-dimension coaster, and then we can play around with this some more and go 45 to negative 45 to positive 45 to negative 45, and then back to 0. Now you don't have to go back to 0, it'll fix that itself. Oh, add that piece in. There we go. Okay, so then we'll change it back to Tunnel of Horror. Now the ride type is called Rotatable Ghost Train Cars. You can see it right here. I believe it's enabled through the coasters menu when you select it. I will post a link to the download just down below so you can download this vehicle. So let's get ourselves, we'll just get one car to start. We will test it out. So the way that this ride operates is the piece that it's on and the piece that is going next to it kind of infers the direction of travel or the amount of rotation, and then sort of creates a smooth transition between the two. So it's not super abrupt, although in that case you can kind of see where it is. Um, so one of the things here you'll note is that on the inclines it goes straight. So you can't use this on inclines, but you can use it on flat curves and corners, or flat straight track and corners, um, and then on brake sections and things like that. So you can kind of do some interesting stuff here, like jumping back and forth between the two. And you can see that's a pretty quick jump back and forth, but if you use a smooth transition up through the percentages of rotation, then or the degrees of rotation, then that's the best way to do it. But that's really all there is to it. So then you can use that to really create scenes on your dark ride. So you can kind of see our whole thing here. You can see all those rotations as the car goes along and see how all that works. One of the things here that you'll note, and let's follow this guy, you can see these white peeps here. This was a feature that we had made for the ride in for the real ride when we had done this in our park in Aria do Flamingo. So if I click on that track here, let me get to it. Let's go ahead and change this guy to multi-dimension so we can see. Okay. So you can see this is at plus 135, which at that level, at 135 here, and at the negative 180 to 135, so at a certain angle off of 0, because you can go beyond 180, but at a certain angle outside of 0, the guests turn into ghosts, into the white peeps that you saw. So just a fun little feature, and you can kind of use that to your advantage, which we did on our ride at the very last scene. So something kind of easy, simple to do, but creates a pretty fun result, and then you can theme it up all the way that you want. I find that this game does not have a whole lot of great dark ride features, so for me this is a pretty big deal as far as, you know, doing Disney type parks or other things like that go, because you can really do a lot with it. So hopefully this is something that you all can use in your parks. But that's it, nice and simple, and that is all for today. But as we look at this space, we have a lot more room to grow and expand. And I think next we're going to focus on this little area here and maybe making it just a little more thrilling. So stay tuned for next time, and if you have a ride you'd like to see done, feel free to leave that in the comments, and I will potentially add it to the list. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks.